Hi, I'm Paul Miller. I'm a certified business coach with Excel Business Coaching and Consulting. Wanted to talk to you today about why I'm passionate about coaching, and it comes from my own personal experiences. As a background, I've been in industry over 30 years. Started running my own profit and loss organizations back about 2007. So have had a lot of experience, and most of my success I can attribute to working with a business coach. So I'll tell you a little bit about my experience as a business operator, and those are the people that I'm passionate about working with. I took over my first business. We were kind of stagnant. We were actually operating at an operating loss. So our revenue had been flat and declining for a couple of years before I took over. The team when I took over was pretty dysfunctional. We were very fragmented. We each had our own objectives. We weren't aligned around any core values or mission for the company. And that would have been okay, except that we were on the verge of winning a major contract, which was really going to require us to change the way that we operated. And so I was standing there one day after having talked to my staff, and one of my staff members came up to me and he said, Paul, you're really struggling with this transition, aren't you? And I said, yeah, I am. It's a big deal. We're not positioned really to execute. It could be a life-changing event for the company, either good or bad, depending on how we handle it. He handed me a book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by a gentleman by the name of Lencioni. And I went home and I read that over the next couple of days, and it just really resonated with me about how dysfunctional the organization was that we were a part of. And so I reached out the day after I finished reading it to the Table Group, which is a consulting agency for Mr. Lencioni, and I hired my first coach. And it was a remarkable experience. By working with the coach, he helped me identify the mission, values, and strategy for the company, and and actually helped me align the organization around that mission and those values, so that we really transformed the company. And we, and no exaggeration, in the course of 3 years, we grew the company over 1,000%, and we went from an operating loss to 30% operating margin. And we did that really by realigning our beliefs, realigning the way that we operate with each other. We developed trust, which led to accountability, which led to improved results. And we were actually able to deliver. And I've incorporated those principles into every organization that I've been fortunate enough to run ever since. And I am very happy to say that the results have been similar in all of those opportunities. I went to take over another operating organization for a major defense company. We grew the company by 30% revenue in 2 years. We reduced the operating cost by 20%, and we improved the operating margin by 40%. And it's really about getting the organization aligned around the principal or the business owner's objectives, making sure that they understand them, holding them accountable, holding each other accountable, and driving towards that result. The real key in my mind is organizational health trumps everything else. A lot of times we get tied up measuring things. If we're not measuring the right things, it's not going to give us the success that we want. So it really is about creating a healthy organization where people are aligned around the owner's vision of the company, and they're making their best contribution to that vision, and the numbers will follow. It's been my experience. So now that you know what I do, I'd be interested in learning about what you do. If any of these issues that I've described are things that you're dealing with or things you might have to deal with in the future, I'm here to work with you to work through those. And so please feel free to reach out. A free 30-minute call. Be happy to talk to you, no obligation, and understand the issues you're dealing with and see if I can't work with you to help you achieve that next level of business performance.